I've asked, I guess
What can I do for you?
yeah, the dispatchers, they really don't listen a lot. I would like to report several issues. So, for a pattern of stretching for 10 years plus, the dispatchers have tried to help set me up and tried to conceal crimes. They withheld information in my rights and did not do their mandatory reporting. So, I wanted to know what would be, I would like to know what the accountability for dispatchers that try to set me up to take my freedom on blatant lies.
Well, I would say if you have a formal complaint, you can come up to the
I just wanted to know. So this is why I didn't want to talk. We've already had interaction, and you said that you wouldn't look at the 200 and something reports.
Well, I know. I understand that. If you want to make a complaint,
That's not what I'm requesting, sir. I've experienced this a pattern of 10 years. This is why I would like to know what criminal offenses, because I've called attorneys 10 years, and they hung up in my face and tried to conceal crimes. So I'm not getting my legal knowledge. I don't want to speak to you. I want someone to educate themselves before they call me on some bullet points that I'd like the answers to. Because my devices malfunction and cover for crimes, and I can't really get anything resolved. So, but I would like to know if there's a possibility, if a dispatcher sets me up and takes my freedom with the police department, what would be the accountability for that?
Yeah, if you had that's the accountability is you'd have to make a formal complaint about it. Come to the sheriff's office.
If there's, what is the reasoning for doing a formal complaint about 911 operator setting me up?
That's the only way to do it.
Okay, so when the formal complaint is done, then what happens?
Well, then they would investigate it. They would go through all your calls. They would go through, and they would determine if charges can be filed, and they would give you a new case number on that.
Okay, what is the result of the charges that could be filed?
I have no idea. You'd have to first file a complaint about it.
So this is what's happened 10 years. All law enforcement is trying to conceal crimes.
We're not going to go back 10 years. We're talking about between the.
But we need to go because it establishes a paper trail of history.
We're not going to go to Dallas, and I'm not going to argue with you. You've been told this.
You're arguing with me, and you're blatantly lying, slandering me to conceal crimes, and that's misconduct. The tampering with evidence is a felony. You are supposed to link with all jurisdictions. You're not doing that as criminal, and blaming me for it is misconduct.
Any other jurisdiction but our own. You need to educate yourself on your own crimes.
Yeah, the linking with, if there's crimes I'm reporting here and there's crimes in other jurisdictions, there's mandatory, you need to be able to obtain evidence, and tampering with evidence is a felony. And blaming me for your repeated misconduct and criminal activity. So that's one issue that
I've already explained what you can do.
There's no relevancy if every time I'm speaking with law enforcement, they're trying to conceal crimes that are, I call for a purpose and you won't let me facilitate that. And it's happened 10 years.
You've already.
I'm not getting answers, and you repeatedly lash out and rage at me when my abuser's mad and conceal his crimes.
I do not lash out.
Okay, well, I would like to concentrate on the reasoning behind my call, on you trying to strategize to torment me like what I've endured years and tamper with evidence. I don't think that you would be a good fit. I've already instructed them that you were a conspirator and cover for crimes, and I didn't want to speak with you. This is obsolete as it's been years because I'm not getting the questions answered. You're trying to conceal them. So if you're blaming me for your crime, like I repeatedly experience, I just really don't get anywhere. I get punished for trying to report crimes and have my constitutional rights, as I do in all these false arrests in jail that you repeatedly cover for. So if you're refusing to do, give me the whole purpose of this call, it's obsolete, as it has been all these years. I had functioning reasonings for this call, and I'm not able to facilitate that because you're deliberately trying to conceal crimes and keep me from knowledge of my rights.
Good enough. I've given you what you can do. You can come to the sheriff's office. I've mentioned about what you can do for your eviction and what you can do about.
But that's not the purpose of this call. I had reasoning for this call, and for 10 years, all law enforcement strategizes their words to not answer questions to stay out of prison, and that violates my rights, and it's illegal.
We're not good. And that's what
the relevancy is the point. The fact still remains that I'm not able to verbalize to you the reasoning for my call, and it's happened 10 years.
Yeah.
So why would you call someone and deliberately interrupt them from speaking like all the scammers that I call? If I call you to ask questions and you're blaming me for your inability to let me ask questions, it's also illegal. It's a form of tampering with evidence. You don't want me to speak and get the information that I need.
I understand. You said this every
But the
time.
fact still remains, you won't let me ask the questions that I call you to get answers to. That fact still remains. And you're arguing with me for trying to do a report like all law enforcement misconduct has done.
Ask the question.
Okay.
Ask the question.
So you don't know, you said that I have to do a complaint for 911 operators dispatching out crooked police and linking them to me 10 years, knowing that my phone is hacked, lying, and covering for it. So you said that with that, you don't know what the consequences are for 911 operators or dispatchers out.
I don't believe the 911 operators are doing
I'm not
anything wrong.
asking you what you believe. The questioning is if this is a reality, that we're being sidetracked by you trying to tamper with evidence. The reality is, I don't want to be disrespected by you trying to conceal crimes. So my question is, and if you don't want to answer the question, there's no need for you to call because you won't let me speak as a strategy to tamper with evidence.
I would not ask Sergeant Vandergriff anymore.
I didn't ask for you. So can you have someone else call me that won't start arguments for profit and try to tamper with evidence and torment me for trying to ask questions?
Every time you call, I'm calling you or I'm showing up.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm calling 911. Well, I don't know what to do because I don't want an abuser that's taking bullying me to demand that I have. You're violating my rights by demanding me being bullied and violated for trying to get knowledge and report crimes.
Okay. Come to the sheriff's office tomorrow and make a complaint.
Yeah, I don't want someone taking bribes and demanding that I be violated and then rage at me for my abuser for profit. Like what's been happening
you
years.
don't trust anybody at the police.
I don't want to be degraded, sir. I had a functioning reason for these calls. I had a functioning reason. I just simply wanted to get questions answered without you taking bribes and trying to terrorize me for getting feedback.
All right. So you don't trust whatever I'm going to say or anything.
I don't want to talk to you because you tamper with evidence, and I'm just trying to get down to the bottom of why dispatchers commit crimes and send me to crooked people every single time.
I'm going to be here till 6. So
but it's irrelevant because you're committing crimes and won't let me speak and then blaming me for it.
I understand that. So now you've got an option to file a complaint or file charges.
Okay, well, how do I file charges? I want to file charges against you for tampering with evidence. I like to file charges for your misconduct and tampering with evidence. How do I do that?
You can come up to the sheriff's office, file a complaint, and do that. And they will check the records, they will check the phone calls, they will check everything. You can bring anything you want and file a complaint. I can't help you because you don't trust me. You don't trust me.
I don't want to be degraded. I don't want my abuser to prearrange for you to lash out and degrade me for reporting crimes year after year. I would like to be treated with dignity and respect, like it's misconduct, your behavior is misconduct. To take bribes to degrade someone and mistreat them and insult them for trying to protect themselves and do reports. Can you express to me if you have knowledge of someone threatening to rape me, murder me, and there's child abuse and all this involved? Can you express to me why you hate my guts for reporting it?
I don't hate anybody.
Okay, so if you know that someone is threatening to rape me, you saw 200 emails and it disappeared in front of you, can you express to me that why all law enforcement that I've came in contact with hated my guts for fleeing a domestic violence crisis that they claim that they're not conspirators in?
Maybe because every person you've talked to,
But you're deflecting on the fact that you're leaving me in the fact that someone is threatening to take my life, poison the water supply, and threatening to rape me. You're deflecting on the fact that I can't use my device to flee it. And several different locations have been conspirators in that. So if the police department has chose to leave me in there and slander me and come bully me to cover for it, that would raise red flags and anxiety and have them have a kind of be forced to be in a situation. If someone has gotten put out 50-something times for profit and law enforcement facilitates it and covers for it, then there would be red flags. If someone has gotten arrested 30-something times for trying to flee abuse, then getting assaulted and arrested at a domestic violence organization, and everywhere I've been have hated my guts for fleeing it, that's a red flag that they're being controlled by the party that I'm trying to flee. But yet and still, you deceive yourself and try to deceive others that that's actually not what's going on. But I've never seen a woman outside myself that get violated to the degrees of assaults and arrests for trying to flee abuse. And then places demand that they don't record someone pulling a knife on them, someone coming with them at cars, someone threatening them multiple different times a day, and then defrauding them out of funds in the process and scamming to cover for crimes. So I'm just not really understanding why I've called all these years trying to get feedback on my rights and get law enforcement to abide by the law, and I've never seen it. And then they repeatedly blame and violate me for it, which is misconduct and potentially criminal charges that I've never seen them get outside of Diane Hammer. So if I call year after year, 10 out years, and every law enforcement officer has blatantly lied to conceal crimes on laws, because they're actually enlisting people to commit crimes, it would see a specific personality trait, perhaps. Because a person will get frustrated by law enforcement being able to abuse power and never seeing accountability to the extreme that where they assault and arrest me for trying to flee abuse. And then the courts and everyone I come in contact with pathologically lie to cover for it. So now this person has demanded that I call him. And then I call him and he tried to set me up. But the reason why I had to call him, because I know you guys don't cover for him and I'm not safe. You punish me, abuse me, violate me, torment me, and enlist others to do the same. I beg from this location that I'm living at, please help me. I'm scared. They ignored me and denied me case management and tried to set me up and frame me with mental illness. All locations would set me up, put me out, and cover for this man, even domestic violence organizations. They all, every legal aid I've ever been to flee him, every attorney that I have ever been to has covered for him. Even my legal representation that I barely get in jail. They've started arguments, tormenting me, violating me. My attorney, Jill Gatley at Del Valley, demanded, lied, and said she was only a mental health attorney, and we could not discuss that I was in jail on false charges trying to report death threats. She yelled at me in rage and said that we can only discuss that's a blatant lie. She demanded that we only speak about my mental illness. I said that I got arrested for reporting death threats. She said, I'm not here to talk about that, my legal defense. Nonetheless, she said that I was supposed to get out 2 different times on bonds. It never happened. And it's happened multiple. Diane Hammer said that she had my bond in the safe and would not let me out on my PR bond. I never got out. So it endangers my safety when you blame me and rage at me repeatedly over and over, as well as every location I'm at, for trying to flee from all these crimes and felonies that are racked up around me. What would you suggest that I do that you guys are raging at me and furious and letting someone threaten to take my life, threatening them to rape me, and then listing places to put me out when he's enraged? What would you suggest that I do as law enforcement? That when law enforcement is minions for my abuser and then claim that they're not, but a red flag is that it doesn't make sense for them to be furious because I'm reporting and they won't look at someone that's threatening my life in emails, threatening to rape me, then they choose repeatedly over and over to conceal those and say that they don't know that they're crimes. So I'm not quite certain on why no one has raised a red flag to any location that I've been that repeatedly say people are finding them and harassing them and then punishing me for it year after year. None of them has ever thought to protect me from it or themselves. They just leave me in it. So if stalking is a felony, can you express to me why these locations let me sit in law enforcement and then blame me for it?
Well, so you asked a question and then you didn't even let it answer.
I don't want to be degraded like I've experienced year after year as we express to the assault of arrest and for trying to flee abuse. Can you do it? It's misconduct for you to degrade me and gaslight me and slander me. That's misconduct. And I will do a formal complaint on your behavior, as you said. But I would like to set boundaries in this conversation for you to not gaslight me like what I've experienced for years, like I said, to the degree of blatant lies for an assault and arrest, kidnapping. I don't know why, if you believe that you have integrity, why you would condone misconduct and criminal behavior by law enforcement. By you demanding that I speak with you and you condoning behavior like that is a safety risk to me because you're covering for things that threaten my safety and then punishing me for reporting. So I would like to concentrate on the fact that while you're enraging me and all police officers get enraged at me and condone me being stalked and threatened.
Okay, so you're not going to trust anything I say.
I don't want to be degraded. I would like to focus on the fact that you are covering for someone that is stalking me and threatening to take my life, threatening to rape me, and then raging at me for trying to flee a domestic violence crisis, like every law enforcement officer I have came in contact with. To the degree of where they assaulted me and arrested me for there's mandatory reporting. I'm trying to interrupt the fact of law enforcement abusing their badges and guns and powers to vent and rage at me for profit for reporting these men's crimes. I believe it's strategic and it's a strategy to keep me from making these reports. If I'm terrorized, which is violating constitutional rights and to lead to criminal charges for you to repeatedly strategize torment, oppression, and others around you to cover for your crimes, that's criminal. So I'm trying to set a boundary in this conversation for you not to terrorize me for trying to get feedback and report this man.
I've given you options.
But my question was, what do I do that law enforcement is allowing someone to stop me and terrorizing me for trying to flee abuse?
20 hours every.
The fact still remains, I'm asking you, we're not really meeting a common ground. I call for details as I've called for 10 years. If I'm trying to get feedback on what do I do when locations are covering for people stalking me and hunting me down, which is a felony in law enforcement. Because it endangers my safety. They claim that they're putting me out over and over again for these people. So my question is, I know you have to rant and disrespect me, but I'm really not meeting the common ground because I just want to know specifically, without you trying to conceal crimes, what do I do location to location is saying that someone is finding me, tracking me down, and harassing them. And then they're putting me out repeatedly over and over for it.
I told you, come to the sheriff's office, make a complaint, and file charges.
We're really not meeting the common ground. I want to know what criminal charges it is, why people are never getting their stalking charges, and why law enforcement is always covering for it, and then blaming me and enlisting everyone around me.
I have no other answers for you today.
Well, then you're not a remedy. I'd like to speak with someone outside of you.
I'm not helping you.
I don't want to be disrespected and degraded because someone is stalking me, I'm trying to flee abuse and it's threatening my life. This is misconduct, sir.
I have got a call.
This is a crime.
I have got another
This
call.
is fruitless. I don't want to speak to you.
Good enough. I will.
Office, how can I help you?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm operator 5369.
Okay, and you don't want me to have your name?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Okay, so I'm having an issue right now. So dispatchers has always sent out crooked police every single time and enlisted people that were going to terrorize me for reporting abuse, someone threatening to rape me, threats, guns pulled on me, all kind of other crimes.
I've heard the story, Miss Clark. What can I do for you?
I'm telling you. These are recorded calls, right?
Miss Clark, make a formal complaint.
I'm not able to speak.
That's how you have to answer that. That's how I have an answer.
I don't want to, I'm not getting anything resolved, and you're trying to conceal crimes that you're committing, and that's illegal by not letting me speak.
That's what you think.
Well, your behavior is showing it. You're not letting me speak to me to common ground on why I'm calling back.
I don't let you speak. You don't let.
I don't want to be degraded because my abuser's mad. Each time that you guys are being caught in criminal activity, you blame me for your crimes. That's why I don't want you hacking my device and sending out crooked police every single time. I want you to get consequences.
You're harassing 911.
That's a blatant lie, ma'am.
You're making it hard for us.
You're blatant lie. This isn't even 911. This isn't even 911. And my device is covering for it. This isn't even 911. I have to report a crime.
Victoria 911, location or emergency.
I have a question, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
I have a question. What's your name?
This is 911. Do you have any emergency?
I have a question.
Okay, do you have any?
I have a question. It could be an emergency. I'll have a...
What's your question?
Okay. So here's a problem. So if you give me a minute. So what happened when I was in Hill County, okay, or Itasca? So the police department repeatedly hung up in my face to cover for my abuser, okay? And I reported crimes over and over, and they were covering for it, and then hanging up in my face to cover for it so I couldn't report the crime. And the officer was trying to set me up currently. And they said that they were going to put charges on me on false reports. So that Marion County kept hanging up in my face, and they said that they were going to put the charges on me. So I was afraid, and I tried to report it to Itasca police that an officer from another county was trying to set me up, and I didn't know what to do because everyone was hanging up in my face to cover for it. So Itasca police, I'm not able to speak. I'm not able to speak for all these years, and then I want to communicate what's happening, but everywhere I come in contact with is coming for Trump.
I'm going to transfer you to the sheriff's office.
Well, you don't know where I'm at. Why would you transfer me to the sheriff's office?
Victoria County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
This lady I don't know what's happening. She doesn't know where I'm located, and then she's not supposed to know who I am and transfer me to you to conceal crimes.
Okay, Ms. Clark, you cannot call us on 911 if it is not an emergency.
You don't know why I'm calling. They're trying to set me up.
I gotta go.
They're trying to set me up, and
Okay,
they've done
all
it
right,
years to conceal
okay.
crimes.
Okay, but you're calling 911.
Because they're trying to set me up. She's making a false report. How do I report crimes like I couldn't in Hill County? So what they're really doing is they're interrupting any kind of capability for me to flee, as they've done years, leaving me trapped in crimes that they set up. It's a form of silencing me. Since they're enlisting all these people as conspirators, they have to cut off my ability to report crimes, which is criminal. But they've left me trapped in this 10 years, to the degree of where I couldn't report police coming to assault me and arrest me for attending the domestic violence support group, kidnapping me 30 times because they don't want me reporting these dispatchers. That's a pivotal part of these crimes. They have to dispatch out their minions and rob me of any rights to protect myself against things that threaten my safety and others. You have just witnesses. This is how they set me up and trap me. If you have me speak to a minion and abuser and demand that I not expose crimes they set up, it leaves me trapped. I don't want to be trapped in this another 10 years. You have just seen that I can't report crimes. They're covering for it and then blame and slander me. I reported to this man, I reported to them, there's evidence on this recording that I tried to report someone threatening to rape me, someone murdering me, threatening to murder me, and multiple different false arrests. And what did they choose to do with it? Hang up, which is criminal, to cover for it. And then bully me and mistreat me for trying to report it. But I've experienced this over a decade. Not when I didn't even realize I was targeted. When I tried to report the hit and run of my son, the police department covered for that too. And he was bleeding. Thank God it wasn't real bad injuries. He said, I'm fine. He just had a scrape on his knee. But for someone to deliberately hit my son with a car. But the peculiar thing is I've really been single most of my life. And I finally ventured out and started dating again. Within a couple days, someone deliberately hit him. But I didn't have a love interest. I know no one should have known about this. It was weird. My life has been pretty peculiar. So I was like, am I being punished for being on this? What's happening? And immediately red flags were raised. Did it have something to do with me going? But there was no one there to be infuriated and hit my son deliberately with a car. I didn't have any, but nonetheless, the police department came. And then when I said I want to escalate to a supervisor because he covered for a hit and run of a child, they never investigated and can't find the report. So if we have the police department endangering my family's life and safety year after year and robbing me of my ability to place calls and get law enforcement, what other recourse do I have? And then locations demanding cover up for this law enforcement that's really not safe. And since I haven't been heard all these years, is it safe for me to live in the United States? Since everyone is refusing to hold these people accountable that not only threaten my safety and others, all I run into is accomplices and abuse.